Hi, welcome to How to Repair. This video is on how to replace your carbon brushes in your motor on a Hoover, Candy, Iberian, Teka, Otsein Zerowatt and some other makes of the Candy group. First thing we need to do is remove the top and back panel. Now we'll remove the belt, pulling it slightly towards you as you turn the drum. The belt comes off. Now we're going to tilt the machine over so we can get a good view with the camera on how to take the motor off. Just a quick note on the safety front, it's always a good idea when removing any wiring off the machine to take a photograph to make sure you get the wires back on the right way when replacing the motor. And again, if you're working on the machine in the upright position, make sure it's disconnected before work commences from the electricity supply. Now there's two bolts holding this motor. On some models there are 4 bolts, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, but there's just 2 at the front, and the motor actually sits on 4 lugs, which we have to slightly prise the motor towards me before removing. The motor rotates clockwise and anti-clockwise on wash cycle and one direction on spin cycle, where the printed circuit board controls the speed. Now the brush holders, which you can see here on either side, which has a wire attached to each brush, and the bolts you can see here that I'm pointing out are 5.5mm. On some models of machine they might be Phillips screwdriver or Torque heads to take them off. Now the spade connector you can see here has a clip which locks it onto the brush tag and stops it vibrating loose. So we'll just remove the brushes on this side. At the end of the video I'll show you a test rig that I've made for testing the motor once the new brushes are fitted. But here you can see the old brush, and you'll see the difference between the new brush. As you can tell, the carbon here has worn completely away, which stopped the motor turning. What I'm doing here now is checking the commutator for any damage to the lugs that you can see. What happens, carbon brushes when they're worn can get very hot and burn the actual commutator, which causes sometimes the lug to rise or damage occurring to the lug itself. If this is the case, you might need to buy a new motor, but hopefully you'll be okay with a set of new brushes. Remember, at the website you will also find all the parts that you need for your repairs on each diagnostic page and repair guide. While I'm replacing the bolts here, remember we have all the videos from changing a door seal to a pump, heater and so on at the website for this manufacturer, which is part of the Candy group. There's about 10-15 different brands under the Candy group, and a lot of the parts are interchangeable between the different makes. Right, we'll just start on the other side. Again, removing the spade connector by suppressing the tag. And now we'll just remove the 2 bolts. And at the end of this video, as I said, we'll do a test on the motor once we've inserted the new brushes. I will make a video after a lot of people have been asking to know how to test motors. I will actually do a video shortly on how to make a test rig for your washing machine motor. But just putting the new one in place. Once you've fitted both brushes, you can just make sure that they're seating correctly by turning the motor slowly one direction and the other. You will hear a slight clicking noise, but this is only the top of the lugs catching the brush on the sharp edge as they're going backwards and forwards until they're seated properly after it's been running a while. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as that's what keeps us going and able to make videos for you. And you can also find us on Facebook, and all the links are available on the website. The round piece you can see in the middle of the motor with the two yellow wires attached is called the Tacho. This actually sends the information to the printed circuit board or the program to allow the voltage to be increased or decreased to the motor to create the RPM that's required in the wash or spin cycle. Now that we have both brushes fitted and I'm happy with the way they're seating, I'll just quickly show you on the test rig, just turning the power on and off, just letting it run. Let the brushes bed in, which you'll automatically be doing when you connect the motor up, but I just thought I'd show you this. And as you can see with the motor spinning, there is very little spark now coming from the armature. When brushes are badly worn, you do end up with a lot of sparks coming from between the brush and the armature, is where the electricity passes into the armature fields. But these are seated nicely, just slowing the motor down now. And there you go. Thank you very much for watching this video. Do remember to subscribe to our channel, as that's what keeps us going and able to make videos for you. Thanks very much for watching.